Alright guys, so as promised, we are checking out every single stage of creating a Telluride. And obviously a very crucial one of those is the actual manufacturing process. For this, Kia flew us to West Point, Georgia, which is the only place in the world where Telluride is produced. Now usually cameras are not allowed inside of the facility. However, we were granted access to film many, though not all of the steps in the manufacturing process. They would have loved to give us full access, but there is a good reason why they couldn't. Tooling and part production for both the all-new Sorento and all-new Optima were already underway.
We are getting ready for the launch of the new Optima and the new Sorento. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But that's coming up. So I'm
going to jump right in here.
Mm-hmm.
Without giving details, because you know these people are very curious and they have cameras pointed at us. What do you think of the new Optima?
I love it.
There we go. That's all you're gonna get. Let me ask one thing. Is it similar to the current one?
No.
There we have it. Thank you.
Now moving beyond that little teaser, we can take a look at some of the final stages of production once the bodies are mostly put together. Like any automotive assembly line, workers are tasked with certain standardized jobs that they complete during the time where the vehicles move through their station. One of the things though that Kia repeatedly emphasized is that every single worker on the line has the authority and is encouraged to stop the entire assembly line if they encounter any quality issue. This allows them to proactively correct the problem on the spot, meaning that issues are effectively contained until the sources are tracked down, like for instance, a bad batch of parts. One of the things you'll see workers do is run their fingers over places where two parts meet. This is checking for certain gap tolerances, which the workers are trained to feel even millimeter differences. You'll also notice that as the vehicles near the end of the assembly line, they are under bright lights, so that workers can more easily spot imperfections. Finally, after it rolls off the assembly line for the first time, it is driven over a few bumps and gets in line to head out to the test track. Now we did actually get to ride out on the track, which is something that every single vehicle produced at this factory will get to do. In some factories, that test ratio will be perhaps 1 in 10 or 1 in 20, but here it's 100% of the roughly 1,000 cars per day that they produce.
This is what we call a steering pad. We're going to check steering radius, listen for any loose parts. It's like a figure 8, like just puts the steering system all the way through the paces. Check turn signals also too. Turn signal cancel. When you straighten back up, the steering wheel or the turn signal cancels out.
Nice.
Back up a little bit right here. Check the backup camera.
Yeah.
But this here's what we call shake road. It's like 7 different road surfaces, and it tests the car. We're listening for any kind of bumps and shakes and rattles in the body. Just any kind of vibration, anything out of the ordinary.
Is that to verify your speedometer, or is that just?
It's just a radar. It's just showing you how fast you're going and what the recommended speed is for this section.
Typically, how fast do you go for this section?
Normally, right in here, 5 to 7.
Okay.
There's a couple of spots where you can get up to 10 right in here. This is the best part right here. It's probably the worst part.
in the proving grounds.
It's giving me PTSD from
Yeah.
going over that. So we hit that one at 30, and that was
Oof. Yeah.
But right here we're checking drift pull, checking cruise control, smart cruise. We check it once at 50, and then we check it again at 70.
Is there one test that cars tend to fail more often than others, or?
Not really. Usually, you know, during the first stages of when we're building a car, you know, there's still a lot of bugs that need to be worked out. We'll hear a lot of vibrations, and but you know, that's normally in cars that are not sellable.
Right.
It's just test cars, and then normally by the time we make it to start of production, those cars are, you know, all those issues are normally figured out by then.
How many of you test drivers are there doing this?
Each shift there's 25 to 30 of us.
Okay.
Every car we build goes through this. And right now I think we're producing right at 1,000 cars a day. Wow. For the most part, that's it in a nutshell.
And is that garage, if there is a problem?
This is the track shop. There's a lift and everything in there. They use it for inspection. And that shed that we went by out there, there's also a pit in there. You can drive up in there.
Yep.
And there's a set of steps that goes down, an inspection pit. You can look at the underside of the car and everything.
Gotcha.
This is the shower test. It's basically a big car wash. But we're gonna go in with it. Normally we don't take the car or stay with the car.
Yeah.
We normally leave the car and it comes out, but they want y'all to experience it. So
we want to see it.
And
it's gonna be total whiteout when we go in there. I mean, the car will be surrounded by water. If there's any kind of issues with leaks, anything, it'll be detected in there. Because I mean, it's like
does someone
the
on the
worst
other side
rainstorm
check?
you've ever been in times 10. Those cars over there, those cars done been through this, and those cars are almost to the end of the process. They're fixing to be signed off and with no issues, and then they'll go out.
What else needs to be checked at this point?
They basically do another computer test on it, just verify everything's good. They give it another once over, and then it goes out to the vehicle processing center, which is the big yard outside where all the cars are parked down by the track. This is about as extreme as it gets as far as like testing the vehicle for leaks. And we do a special test like during lunch break. We'll load a car into here and they'll stop the line while the car's right in the middle of the water, and the car's sitting here for a good 30 minutes.
Wow.
And it's if it's not going to leak after that, if you don't, you're not going to have no leaks. How this thing is taking off too. We can't build enough of these right now, evidently.
Alright, so here we are with Forrest, our new friend. We've watched all of his videos on the internet, so it's actually really kind of cool to meet him. And we finally met him at this press event, and we're kind of driving down to the Atlanta Telluride plant, and we stopped here in this weird little town. It's
pretty nice.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. And we found this mural, both our Tellurides here, but what we want to tell you guys, he makes awesome videos, so if you're not subscribed to Forrest,
you really should. Don't unsubscribe from us. Keep watching our videos, but make sure you watch his videos
It's
too.
his birthday for no other reason.
Yep.
Wish him a happy birthday by subscribing.
Thank you. And also, huge congrats to these guys. If you're subscribers to their channel, you know that they just hit 100,000 subscribers, which is awesome. And I cannot wait to see that plaque come into the mail.
I know,
It's going to be so exciting.
While at KMMG, we also got the chance to interview some of the employees who had plenty of interesting insights to share.
When it comes to the Telluride, what for you was like the magic moment when you said, "Wow, this might be a special vehicle"? What was a good time for you when you thought, "I'm on a good project"?
It has nothing to do with the build, actually.
No?
I have a brother in Halton City, Texas. It's the mid-cities between Dallas and Fort Worth. So they came down, and I was test driving a Telluride, being on the launch team. I had the opportunity to take one home. They came to visit. My sister-in-law was sold. She was sold. I think they waited 4 months to get the Telluride, but they actually traded in a BMW for their Telluride.
I love that story.
That was my big moment.
And just on the side note, we've actually just been collecting some data on what vehicles are coming in, what sort of conquest we're getting, and it's like 74-75% conquest as opposed to people coming from another Kia vehicle, and in many cases BMWs, a lot of Range Rover.
Right.
You know, if you're in a Range Rover, you quite like to have a good warranty. so we're pleased about that.
Right.
When you see a Telluride around town, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel proud knowing that we built it and we're the only ones that built it.
Right.
You know, so we have an extra sense of pride about that. And prior to the build, prior to me test driving the car, I was at the doctor just for my normal checkup. He was like, "So how's that Telluride going?" You know, and I was like, "You already know about it?" You know? And then when I did, we have a program where you can win a car for the weekend. I won that, and we drove it around. We decided we were just going to drive it all around Atlanta. And we were at the airport because my sister-in-law was coming in town, and we met this couple. And there's a Telluride inside the airport, and they were just looking at it and watching it. So we walked over, and it was like, we built that car, you know? And they were like, "Really?" And they just started asking us all kinds of questions. Another couple of people walked up asking us questions. And everybody is really, really excited, you know, to get their hands on that car. Some people said they were on a waiting list, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Well, speaking of waiting and getting your hands on it, so at KMA, we're not allowed to order one as our company lease or anything like that.
Really?
What, you got one?
No.
Well, I think that's the same here. As employees, you guys can't order them, right?
No, we can't order.
That's a good, bad problem, though.
It's
you know what I
a
mean?
good, bad problem.
Yeah, because I think we all know it's we've captured lightning in the bottle. It seems like everybody's happy here. We saw a lot of people waving at us today, and what is it about that? Talk a little bit about the corporate culture here. I mean, listen, it's work. I understand.
It is work.
And Monday mornings, you're probably not super happy to climb in here, but everybody there's a positivity here. What do you think that? Where do you think that comes from?
before Kia got here, you know, it wasn't a lot of hope. You know, people were really, you know, trying to figure out what the next move was going to be. A lot of textile mills had closed.
Yes.
There was not a lot of development here. So this brought bright light to this area. It gave everybody a sense of hope, and we wanted it to work so bad that I think that's where our sense of pride stems from, wanting to be successful and being happy and thankful and grateful that we have something here for a fresh new start.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years, but it seems like just yesterday.
I can see in your eyes as you say the story. Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little emotional, you know, when I tell the story, but you know, when you come from almost having nothing, and then you got something and it's something good, and we're thriving off of all the enthusiasm that's going on, not just with the Telluride, but what we experienced with the Sorento, our first generation Sorento. The Optima brought a lot of excitement. you started seeing people actually driving these cars on the highway, you know, and as far as you go into Alabama and up past Atlanta, you go into Tennessee, Florida, you're seeing our cars all over the place, and it just sparked a lot of excitement and joy for us knowing that we did this, and to see where we're going into the future, and we're still here. We don't feel threatened. We have some place to be. That's where all the happiness and excitement comes from.
Well guys, that's it for our time at KMMG in West Point, Georgia. Now the American story of Telluride is not over yet. We still have one more aspect left to share, and that is the very beginning phases of designing and making the concept as told by the lead designers themselves. It's definitely super interesting, and you won't want to miss that video coming up next week. See you then, and take care.